I think Felix the Cat had more personality than Mickey Mouse in how they were drawn.
No.
So you're saying Felix didn't have the pop in the bounce?
I believe that Mickey had the best pop ever. Welcome to Hester Bros Cartoon Theater, everybody! I'm Alec, this is my brother, Lucas. And dude, that's a really nice jacket or sweatshirt that you have right there.
Oh, thanks. Some would even call it a hoodie.
Well, I don't know whether they had hoodies back in 1928, or whichever year the cartoon that we are watching today is from. I think I'm pretty close.
Yeah, 28, that's it.
Everybody, we're watching Felix the Cat. We're watching an old, original cartoon from the literal 20s. Partially because we love old cartoons and we want to see it, and partially because it's so far back that it's copyright free.
And we are in copyright hell a little bit with other stuff that we're covering. So, if you helped us out with a little subscription, there's a lot coming. We just gotta wait for things to clear, so...
This does go back to the fact that Lucas and I want to react to a lot of really awesome cartoons that maybe you all haven't seen, or maybe we haven't seen, or maybe we just think are cool relics of history that deserve to get some attention. So, we had an awesome idea, well, we thought it was awesome, to do something called a Toon Museum, where we would watch interesting cartoons from history and induct them into our own virtual version of a museum of cartoons. So, we're going to react to a wild episode of Felix the Cat from the 20s, and then induct it into this hypothetical fictional museum that Lucas and I have created with our own imaginations.
I wanted to choose an episode where it gets trippy, because that's something that I remember loving about Felix the Cat, so I think he hallucinates in this one. Let's jump into it.
There we go. Alright, Pat Sullivan is a name that I know from animation history. He is one of the early creators of, not only Felix the Cat, but I believe that he worked on quite a few awesome other stuff as well. Feel free to fact check me with a yes right here.
Yeah, I'll check you in editing.
Thanks.
Wow, look at how much longer that title screen goes than it ever would these days. The processing is so different now.
The dancing building is so cool.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is basically all being done by a flipbook, in such contrast to the animation that we've come to see today.
I wonder if the Whoopee Club is like a sex reference, because isn't that an old term for sex is Whoopee? Am I wrong? Fact check me on that in the comments.
And they're reusing some of the sequences, right? Because to make the runtime longer, sometimes you just need it a little bit more.
Oh man, he's getting turned. I loved how they did voice acting in these with those little quips.
Me too, and the music too, trying to sync it up together the way that they did. Okay, I'm assuming that's alcohol?
Yeah, that's 100% alcohol. Ooh,
so it's very late.
Oh, that was such a cool sequence.
It's very clear to me that they didn't have the budget of, like, the Merry Melodies or Looney Tunes or, like, the Disney cartoons of the very early era. I'd be interested to compare it side by side to Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, I think they came around. Was Steamboat Willie 28 as well?
Very similar. I think earlier. Steamboat Willie was earlier.
I'll put another fact check. One of the things that's fun for me to think about is how they did sound effects for a lot of these.
I'm gonna keep saying whoopee, like...
He takes his ears off.
Okay, yes. Effect called plausible impossible.
This, though.
And this must have been how it blurs out.
It must have been so annoying to animate this.
I wonder if there's an intentional blurring of the image that went alongside the flipbook to paint the drunkenness. Oh. I love this stuff, man. I love animated props, like inanimate objects that just start walking around. And gags like that.
What a transition.
And look at the flair with the walk, too, right? It has character, like, to animate that takes a lot of talent.
Well, and get it, like, Felix is drunk, so he's flirting with the lamppost.
Totally. And it had a face for a second.
Yeah. Personification. Oh,
Awesome.
money. Whew. Well, that actually makes me feel
Here we go again. So now I wonder if this was pure flipbook, or they were like moving the image somehow.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. That was good. Oof.
Oh, okay. That's funny. It disappeared so quick. All right, solid. A cigar.
That was cool. He just
Not the
takes
thing
it
that I
out.
was the most afraid that we've seen, as far as things that don't hold up. But it's still early. All right, and now we got some zoo animals.
I feel you, Felix. I feel you. It's scary stuff, Buster. Well, what would you do, Alec? What would you do? First of all, that is a well-animated elephant with its,
I was
like...
gonna say.
Oh!
The way that they
was
made
so
that
cool.
more really impressive for the time. And what would I do? I probably wouldn't have gotten that drunk in the first place.
That's not the hypothetical.
Oh.
What would you do if you saw that running at you? Or this?
Oh! I mean, that would really freak me out because I don't like snakes and it's very snaky.
Yeah. It's just a car, man. It's just a car.
Yeah, I would definitely get in that car, obviously. Seems legit.
Oh, dude. Felix is my spirit animal, man. Felix the Cat is my spirit animal. Anybody who's been doing fan art of us, I want that one. I want spirit animal Felix the Cat. That's what Lucas wants.
Yes.
Oh, the turning into an instrument, that's classic.
It is classic, and it's got like a horse tail.
You know,
a lot
I
of
wonder where
different elements playing.
I wonder where a lot of those tropes come from.
I mean, some of them might start here.
Oh my gosh. This is so cool, dude.
You know what's interesting?
Running
There's
home,
not a lot-
fleeing from hallucinations.
There's not a lot of flair to a lot of the walls and characters. Like, they're basically sketches.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really very simple. There's no shading even. Or very rarely, like that elephant had one of the only ones.
Yeah, there's some, but not everywhere. That's my favorite. Little music in moments like that.
He's like, it is not morning. Oh,
Alright, did you see that?
Oh, that's...
The little question mark to give you like a little bit of a narrative depiction. Real cool. And I'll dream, and he shoots it. Okay. Whew! I just thought that was pure classic cartoon fun. It was actually lower quality than I expected, but I don't mean that in a bad way. It almost feels like the perfect starting point, like an early root of animation. It feels like, I don't know, the perfect relic if we're gonna start watching these old cartoons again to get started with, you know?
And Felix the Cat is like such an inspirational force for a lot of other cartoons that came after it as well. Everybody obviously likes to think of Mickey Mouse, but this guy was influential. Everyone knew Felix the Cat. And as much as it wasn't the same, as you could see in this episode, Felix did a lot of weirder stuff sometimes. I like that because it inspired a lot of the weirder Halloween-y stuff that comes later. Obviously, like Skeleton Dance does stuff like that too, but, you know.
Sure, and I mean, Felix the Cat had a legacy that went far beyond those very early short films. He's had multiple series pop up. Something that's interesting, in 2014, his rights were purchased by DreamWorks, which might lead some speculation to think they're trying maybe to make some new shorts happen.
Wait, they bought it in 24... Is this gonna get copyright flagged?
That would be
I'll
hilarious
be
if we
so
picked this.
mad.
Alright, well, I'm optimistic. Oh, Lucas, careful about taking a swig there. You might have a nightmare that makes elephants, monkeys, and snake lamps.
Don't joke about them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm totally joking. Did you all see how serious he took that for a second? I appreciate you taking it seriously.
Yep.
Can't imagine why.
I sort of mentioned during the recording, comparing it to something like a Steamboat Willie, you do feel the difference where part of it's probably that Disney had more money.
Maybe not.
But it's interesting. I don't know. I really don't.
Maybe not, dude. Not then. Well, and we saw one episode too. You know, there might be other episodes of Felix the Cat that were a lot more detailed. We just cherry-picked one that I found in a copyright-free vault.
Frankly, I think that was my favorite way to go about it, is to find something from the very, very early days. Because this episode, to me, that we're recording is not about Felix the Cat. It's about early animation history and the earliest types of cartoons that you would get. And that encapsulates it, right?
I want to say one other thing about Felix the Cat. Maybe a hot take, and maybe the thumbnail. I think Felix the Cat had more personality than Mickey Mouse in how they were drawn.
No, I cannot even...
Purely eyes. Felix didn't have black dots for eyes.
That's true.
And he had more facial expression because of that.
I think that that's a really good detail, but I think that Mickey Mouse resonated with people everywhere for a reason, and that is because his character was so exuberant and popped so much that people always felt like they could relate to him. That doesn't come from nothing. I guess if you're talking pure animation, I can maybe see where you go with it. The eyes make a difference. But it's not just about the eyes, right? It's about the full design. It's about the way that Mickey moves and pops. Limbs move a little bit, and his intentions. I think, and maybe part of it's the writing too. The writing would always lend itself to a situation where Mickey was allowed to pop on screen, where his personality was able to be part of really awesome, creative situations.
But do you think that Walt and the writer of this weren't, like, taking notes on each other and emulating? You think Felix didn't have a lot of bounce?
So they totally did, and I think that's very fun to me, is knowing that these were kind of the pioneers of this kind of thing at the time, so totally they were learning from each other.
So you're saying Felix didn't have the pop in the bounce? Is that, 'cause that's what you're claiming by saying, oh.
I believe that Mickey had the best pop ever. Sorry, wait. I was saying that, like, sort of how I said, oh my god, this is the best burrito ever. I was being hyperbolic just because, like, that expressiveness, you know. So obviously, animation has come a very long way since then. But Mickey does have something about the presence that he exudes that, in my opinion, is very hard to top. But I don't want to use that as an opportunity to slander Felix the Cat. I think it's great. I love what it offers.
I don't know, man.
Mickey has such a legacy for me, man. And I'm like, obviously, such a big Disney fan.
I think, I'm just talking one for one, the originals. Obviously, Mickey has so much more behind him than Felix that's incomparable. One of the things that you'll notice change about Mickey's design is the dot eyes, which probably implies that they themselves thought that that was a true thing that needed to be changed.
So are you really thinking strictly design? Because I think the difference for me is that I think that Felix the Cat, while very expressive, could kind of be anyone. He's a bit of a troublemaker, I think, is kind of the root of the character. But Mickey, I think, is, like, so distinct.
First of all, I totally disagree with that for a million reasons. And one of which is, like, Mickey Mouse has inspired so many other things. Obviously, there's so many characters like that Mickey could totally replace, because they were inspired by Mickey. So that's not really, it's not a fair thing to say, because my answer to that is no, there's a ton of things. Mickey could be a million different characters. But that's not fair to say, because Mickey's one of the original cartoon characters that inspired all of these different characters. So, like, I mean, let's be honest, we're talking archetypes. Mickey's just a happy-go-lucky, positive guy that gets into misfortune sometimes.
Actually, that is a decent way of describing it, but very, very distinctly.
Okay, but, like, you know, Felix the Cat's the same way, but in his personality. Disney had a better marketing team, but both of them were equal.
Well, let's not say equal necessarily, but I think that Disney having a great marketing team is fairly safe to say for a lot of reasons.
No. Oh yeah, that's fair to say. But commenters, break up this discussion. What's the answer? Which better?
Yeah,
What's better?
Absolutely. I would love to hear what people say. Lucas and I draw, but we are not, like, animators. So if you know stuff, we would love to hear you compare the two. Where do you come down on this argument? I'm super curious.
Ooh, yeah, any experts in anything, definitely tell us why you're an expert, okay? I don't just believe you. I'm not just gonna believe you. You shouldn't believe anything I say, so...
Yeah, that's true. Don't believe anything that we're just a couple of guys who love cartoons or talking about what we see with our own two eyes. Doesn't make us experts, just means that we love this stuff. We love to talk about it, and we love to debate.
We're here to have fun and be wrong. So have fun and be wrong with us. Subscribe.
Yeah. Great philosophy. People should totally be willing to be wrong all the time, and you learn so much. Like,
the people should just recognize that they are, actually. 90% of what most people believe has to be wrong.
That's a pretty high percentage. I think that we could have an argument about that.
I think we could. stay tuned for more. Okay, get us out of here.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.